Hello, my beautiful flower friends! Today, I'll be sharing with you the newest flower that I've pressed, and it is the Butterfly Ranunculus. Just like its name, this flower's petals are just fluttering and delicate, so I wanted to be able to capture this flower in pressed form. At the end of my pressing process, I actually did create some prints with these flowers, and I have 5 available for purchase on my Etsy store. If you would like to take a look, I have the link to my Etsy store in the description box for you. And in this video, I'll be showing you the process of pressing them and also mounting them onto the textured handmade paper that I purchased. This will be a slower paced, calming video. If you would like to see just a tutorial-based video, I will be creating a short that is solely focused on the step-by-step how-tos. With that being said, let's get started on the peaceful pressing process. I do have to elaborate that it is a process because I learned that in certain flowers, and I don't understand in which flowers, but as I started taking apart some of its petals, its sepals, I did notice that it started to fall apart. My whole experience of pressing flowers has helped me to understand that not everything goes to plan, and that is just the beauty of it, experiencing little delays and detours, maybe what we can call scenic routes, is just part of the process. And sometimes that's even better than what we can imagine it to be. Once I've removed the sepals and the center of the flower, I cut it from the stem because I like to press the heads of the flower and the stems separately. So just know that you don't need to press every single leaf, every single flower unless you wanted to. Of course, if you did, you would have more options to choose from at the very end. But I am embracing more of a natural process of pressing, and so I like to be surprised with what I see when I open a press. I've noticed that with the more mature blooms of these Butterfly Ranunculus, I wasn't too fond of the color that they ended up pressing. So I did notice, for me, I did have a preference to the younger blooms because those final pressings were brighter and they were a little bit more vibrant, in my opinion. I think a common misconception about pressing flowers is that once you have set the flowers in between the pages of a book and you have weight on top of it, it is a set it and forget it process. But you have to keep checking on your flowers as they are pressing. That way you can determine if they are pressing well, or if you can notice certain things like older blooms are not pressing the way that you want, then you still have the rest of the flowers to make changes and understand more about the next batch that you will be pressing. I was nervous to press these flowers because it has been a while since I've been away from this craft, but I also wanted to show this process because I am using materials that are kind of out of the norm with pressing flowers. I did not press these with a flower press. I just used materials that I had around the apartment, and so I will be using our obnoxious collection of energy drinks and just using found materials like breaking down Costco boxes, junk mail to use as the pressing paper. Truly, pressing flowers is not about the materials. It's really just nurturing the creative process and the pressing process. When I press flowers, I do like to do it in batches, kind of experiencing it like a science fair project. I like to see what's working, in my opinion, what's not working, so that I can control what I can control of the process to get a final pressing that I am really proud of. Since I do press these flowers in parts for the final print, I am just putting together the parts so that on each print is a complete flower. I also really enjoy this part of the process of putting the pieces of the flowers back together because it does make me feel like I'm creating something new. Even though these are the flower heads that I've pressed, these are parts of the stem, the leaves, I know that this bloom probably did not exist together when it was alive. I took pieces from different blooms and stems, and I'm creating something totally new. And this is the final product. Again, if you would like to purchase any of these prints, they are available on my Etsy shop. The link is in the description. And I hope this video brought to you a small moment of peace and stillness, and that when you are going through the pressing process, you enjoy all the discoveries that you make in that process. So until next time, happy pressing, happy creating. See you later. Bye.